Okay, so positive circle, right? So first thing is your stance, right? So you want your foot slightly in front of the rear foot. So if I bring my toe back, this toe back on a straight line, it's literally right behind my heel. So when I slide it back, so this foot is slightly in front of this foot, right? So this hand doesn't matter. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I do this. So the most basic positive circle is this. I know when Master Chen first showed us, that's what he did. He did that for about 10 seconds, and then he said, okay, that's the most basic one, right? And he said, this is the most basic negative circle. Okay. So now, second most basic negative. Now, I'll show you how Master Chen teaches it. I'll show you how I teach it, okay? So Master Chen teaches it elbow in. Okay, so the problem is I see a lot of people do this. So what I do is I tell people don't change the configuration of your arm, just pull the elbow. So see, when I do that, the hand just comes down like that, right? But it stays on the line.
Okay.
So you see, so the hand stays on the line. Now when I do this, see how the hand is still on the line, always on the line, and then comes out. So that's just something I did to force people to bring the elbow in. But it's not the best way to do it. So after they get that feeling of the elbow coming in with no change in the configuration, then I tell them leave the hand on the line with the elbow and just pull the elbow in. So you see now if I turn this way, you'll see there's no change in the configuration of my arm, right? So my hand never does this. See how now my hand's coming in, right? So it's the elbow. The hand just stays on the line it's on, and the elbow comes in. So elbow in, now, right? Knees are fixed. Now, basic configuration of the circle, we turn the waist. So we actually physically turn the waist, but we leave the hand on the line. So we turn the waist. Now we're going to turn the waist back and the hand goes out. So that's where you have the mantra, elbow in, turn the waist, hand out. So again, this is the basic configuration of the positive circle. So we're not talking about stretch yet. We're not talking about fixed points. We're talking literally the basic template for the positive circle. So this is one of the things I think a lot of people that are starting to train now don't get. Like they're going right to trying to do all this different stuff and they can't do any of it, right? So for us, for a while, it was elbow in, turn the waist, hand out. That was it, right? So I'm here, right? So elbow in, turn the waist, hand out. Now, if I do it from here, you'll see my hand stays on the line, right? So it doesn't come off the line. It stays on that line, right? So, and again, you try not to move the knees. So you literally, see, you're already adding things. So you're already changing.
Okay.
See, this is what I mean, right? Like, so if you're going to teach this to someone and you start doing it the way you're doing it, it makes it very hard for them to get it. That's why literally when someone starts Tai Chi here, I go, like Gary. Gary's doing Tai Chi now 6-7 months, right? He still doesn't have anything, and that's fine, right? But elbow in, turn the waist, hand out. So I'm not doing this. See, this isn't turning the waist. This is me creating a stretch. That's what you're doing. So you're automatically creating a stretch. So if you watch the logo, that's how you tell. So I pull in. So watch. This is a stretch. This is me rotating my waist, which also creates a stretch, but not the way we want to create it. And then the hand goes out. The hand out. For a beginner, it's easy to understand. It's elbow in. Rotate. Turn the waist. So I literally try to bring this shoulder back. See how I turn it back? And then hand out. So I rotate. So you're beginning to introduce the concept of a rotation, even though it's not the rotation we want. When we do elbow in on the negative, it comes directly to the dantian. So we come directly to this position. So with the positive, we bring the elbow in first. Then when we turn the waist, it comes to this position. But with the negative, we bring it right to this position. So the negative comes in like this. So again, it's elbow in, right? Turn the waist, and then hand out. And the waist turns back. Again, then you reset. Master Chen, when he would teach this, he would literally say to us, then reset. So it's one, right? And I usually turn the waist as this comes in, and then it comes, the hand goes out, then reset. So 1, 2, reset. 1, 2, reset. 1, 2, reset. So here, 1, 2, reset. So it never comes off the line. So if I do it this way, you'll see it even clearer. Here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Again, because this is this is the most basic way to introduce the circle. Start to fix points a little bit, right? And we want to start to roll the shoulder. So we're here, right? So now the elbow can come in, that's fine, right? But now, as we do this, this shoulder's not going that way. The shoulder's going this way. So everything winds up on a line. So there's a line here. The hand and the shoulders are all on a line. So when I'm here, you'll see when I'm here, right? So I can bring the elbow in, that's fine, right? But when I do this, everything's on a line, right? So also you want to start now to involve the quad. So if I'm here, the elbow comes in. Now, as I do this, this has to start creating this action here. So it's no longer this turn, right? Now it's like this. So this happens, right? So it's elbow in, this happens, right? Now, I don't just turn like this. Now this action happens. So now this forces the hand out, and there's a lot more torque, right? So elbow in, now this happens here, and the shoulder moves the elbow. So you see, the shoulder, my elbow never moves. I never pull my elbow across. My shoulder moves the elbow, right? And this stretches here. And now we come, this pressure here forces the hand out. Watch me here. So I'm exaggerating now so you can see it.
Oh, okay. That's different, yeah.
This is what Master Chen talks about. So look, my elbow, right? I don't do this, right? The shoulder moves the elbow. So when I come here, right? When I come here, watch my shoulder. That's what he talks about too. Make the armpit small. You need the shoulder to have a pretty great range of motion. If the shoulder doesn't have a high range of motion, it's a problem. And most people's shoulders are very stiff. Do a lot of this. I mean, look at the range of motion of my shoulder. Like my arm's straight.
Yeah.
The range of motion is crazy. Yeah. And see, it's always the back one that people have the problem with. It's when you go back, you know, so when I do this, right, you see the range, right? And if I go over,
yeah,
the same thing. My head's not moving. It's just the shoulders creating all that. You know, every one of my personal workouts, I start with that exercise. You have to pull off that fixed point, which in my mind, a lot of times I use the front knee. So if I'm here, right, when I come in and now I do this, I fix the front knee and I imagine I'm pulling a band off the front knee. So I come here and I come here and this all stretches. And then it switches to the other side. So watch the wrinkles in my uniform. Okay, watch. Here, right? So now you see the wrinkles are here, right? And everything here is straight. Okay, so I'm gonna leave my hand here. So now watch.
Yeah, it goes like this,
And I
like this.
completely rotate it around the rod. There's no, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on this rear foot as I'm extending this hand. I come here as I come out, I push the knee, but it's not like this. I literally, it's the same idea of, so when you do that, when I come here, and this is getting into the advanced circle, when I push the knee into the rear foot, my knee moves back into the line slightly, but I'm not intentionally moving my knee. Do you understand?
So just by your intent
if I'm here, right, and I do this, right, that's me moving my knee. I'm moving my knee into the line. If my knees are fixed, right, and I push the knee into the rear foot. You see how the knee moves slightly into the line? It doesn't move a lot. It moves just a little bit, but the power is tremendous. So now what you do is, as this comes in, right, and you start to do this, you push this knee into the front foot. So you come here. Now you push this knee into the front foot. Now it switches to the rear as your hand comes out. So besides pushing your knee into the foot, you start to open here. So when you can do those actions, it's a game changer. Stand like this in the fight.
You won't, right? You'll be shoulder width.
You know, fighting, you got to move, right? Yeah. This is training. We're talking training now. This is the problem, right? People in martial arts, they think training has to always look like fighting. And fighting has to look like training. No, it doesn't. You can train your body to do certain things and then bring those abilities to the fight. That's why my Kobudo master always said, I showed him, I told him one time why I was doing a move in the kata the way I was doing it. And he said, no. He goes, no. I said, okay. He says, don't put fighting in the kata. Put kata in the fight. Again, the yi lose the structure form. It's training your body to be able to do certain abilities. Do them when you're moving, right? Fast. When you have to move and duck and jive, right? Do all this stuff, right? That's the key. Can you do that? So everything's the same, only now this, you know, this comes here, right? This comes here, and, you know, this can also move in here, right? So this comes here, right? And now I'm pushing the knee and power into the rear foot. And like I even feel the quad stretch when I get to here on this one. So my quad here is stretching and the one in the front is stretching. And then when I do this now, up here, go ahead. What'd you say? You're
saying you're feeling your front quad stretch even as you're opening your rear quad?
Yeah.
How do you do? Is that just because you maintain the stretch, or you have some kind of in mind intent?
I just it's just stretching. I don't know. I'm probably maintaining the right. So when I'm here, right, and I come here, so the only thing I do different now is I try not to do a reset like that, where I stop here and go like this. So now I try to do this. So I try to create a way where the hand comes up, right? Here. And then see how I create the separation and it comes up? If you watch Master Chen, you'll see his feet sometimes go up like this. Because there's, if I start really getting crazy, like if I do this, like the power's all on the edge, the outside edge of my foot right now. So when I do this, right, and then I do that, it's all on the outside edge. Now I relax, it comes back down. Now I'm here, it's all on the outside edge, and I push the knee into it. So again, the whole foot is fine. Eventually, as the progression happens and you start doing the moving parts correctly, you'll feel the power is being pushed down so much that the foot, the outer edge of the foot, starts to kind of do this a little bit. Is you don't retreat the elbow. So now from here, the elbow just comes over on a line. So watch. See, the elbow just comes on a line here. So if I'm doing it right, it's here and here. So the hand doesn't really retreat. There's always contradiction. What people don't realize is you need contradiction, because contradiction is conflict. And ultimately, we're talking about conflict. We're talking about martial arts. So there has to be a conflict. There has to be contradiction. The problem is people don't like that. They want it to be very clear. Oh, do it exactly like this. In the sword form, right, at the end of the sword form, we come in, we do a stab, we do this, and then we spin. We spin fast in place. And then we step up and stab. And we do that fast spin. And, it violates a principle, right? The principle being that your body should always be able to change direction. So I say, well, why do we practice like that? It's balance, right? Can you spin on the rod? Can you spin on the rod? Can you do that? Most people can't. So for years, there's two spin moves in the karate kata. So I started doing it where I adhered to the hard, fast principle that the body must change direction at all times. And I did that for a few years. And now I realize that, no, can you do the spin fast, but spin on the rod? And if you can do that, that's another way to enhance your ability, enhance your practice. So I practice it both ways. So the move in karate, looks like this, right? Right. So I'm here, spinning.
Yeah, you moved, but you.
Sometimes I practice it where I don't spin. I come here and set. When I do that, I can change direction at any time. But I also practice it where I do the spin. So again, they're contradictory. They're both teaching you an ability. If I do the jump kick, if I do the double jump kick in Chen, right? And I work on just going up and down on the rod, right? So I turn, my head just goes up and down. That's fine. But I can also work it where I do this. And I go across.
Right, you cover distance.
Now I'm covering distance, which works my leg muscles a little different.
Right, and we do a lot of that in early where you leap to cover that distance between.
So yeah. All right. So I'll see you next week.
All right, thank you, Sensei.
All right, bye.